In this video, we're going to take a look at the normalized viewport rectangle properties within a camera. And the way we're going to do it is actually kind of cool. We're going to make a rear view mirror for our first-person controller. Now to do this, we're going to start off with our main camera, which is already a part of our first-person controller. I'm going to hit Control D and then press F2 to rename this, and we'll call this rear view mirror. Now, this guy has got all of the same components that our main camera did, and it doesn't need any of them, so we're going to nuke them all. So we'll remove the audio source, we'll remove the audio listener, the mouse looked script can go away, so we'll go ahead and remove that. The flare layer can go away, and the GUI layer can go away. Now, with all that done, let's make sure we're over in scene view so I can kind of see what's going on. This camera is pointed in the same direction as our original. So I'm going to take its Y rotation and offset that by 180 degrees. So now it's looking out the back of the character. Now, there's a couple things we need to do. This causes me to have to bring up another property. So we're actually going to, I guess, look at two in this video. And this will be depth. Now, what depth allows you to do is control what camera will be rendered on top of another one. Cameras with higher depth will always render in front of cameras with lower depth. So because we always want to be able to see our rear view mirror on top of whatever it is our original camera sees, we need to set the depth to be a little higher. So because our original number is 0, we can just set this to 1. And that means that our rear view mirror will always be in front, so to speak. We'll always see that. Now, if I switch back over to game view, we are now looking out the back of our character because this camera has a higher depth. As a matter of fact, if I jump back over to the main camera and I set its depth up to 2, suddenly we're looking out the front again because now the main camera has a greater depth. It's now rendering in front. So I just wanted to go ahead and illustrate how depth allows you to control the order in which cameras will be displayed. But we will go ahead and set that back over to 0. Now we can come up to the normalized viewport rectangle and control the area in which this rear view camera is going to be displayed. What this does is it allows you to set an X position, a Y position, and a width and height that is proportional to the overall size of the screen for where this camera will render on your screen. Now, there's no better way to describe that than to show it, though.
And these numbers are 0 to 1. They do not relate to pixel width and height.
Which is really useful because if you start playing at different resolutions, the numbers you set here will be maintained proportionally.
And the other thing to remember is Y, 0 is the bottom of the screen and 1 is the top of the screen.
That's right. Now let's take our width, and I'm just going to drag this down slowly. And as I do, we're not seeing a change here, and I guess the reason for that would be, well, we're looking at the wrong camera. Right now we're looking at the main camera. We don't want to do that. Put that back at 1, Zach. All right, go back to the rear view mirror, and now come over to the normalized viewport rectangle. And now we can take the width and pull it down, and you see that kind of sliding out of the way. So now let's take the height, and we'll pull that down as well. So let's make this about some proportionate size to a rear view mirror, something kind of wide. Now we can take X and Y and use these to position our mirror. So we'll center it up, and then we'll slide it up toward the top, about like so. And there we go. We now have a rear view mirror. We could make tweaks to it if we wanted to. We could give it a little bit of a wider field of view, though it'd be great if we stuck a GUI in there that said objects in mirror are closer than they appear. And then go ahead and hit play. And now, as we run around, we have a way to look behind us.
Now, be honest. How many times have you wished you had something like that in a game that you've played?
Every single time I've played a multiplayer first-person shooter, I've wanted something like this because I spend my whole time going, is there anybody behind me? So, of course, this takes care of that problem. Now, this would lead to certain issues with things like occlusion culling, because now you've got two different directions you're looking at the same time, which if you've got a more complicated level, and this level's already pretty complicated, you've potentially doubled the amount of draw calls and the amount of data that you're rendering out to the screen, obviously. But it is a cool way to show off how this does work.
Right.
So with all of that, I'm going to go ahead and press stop, and that'll be the end of our fun here. So I'll go ahead and take my rear view mirror camera, and we'll destroy that. But I think, again, a good way to discuss the viewport rectangle as well as our depth settings, which is going to wrap things up for this video. Thanks for watching.